plot itself, I know this is based on a true story.
Yeah, it's
It
based on a
already-
true story and based on a series of novels.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too about the novelization. There are a lot of stories that deal with the subject matter of the undercover cop. He's gonna befriend with it. Most famously, Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
But this film is such a detour from that execution
Yeah.
of the undercover cop. It's like, I can't handle my life. I can't handle, my wife doesn't like this or whatever. It's not like that. Mark's character has a kid in this.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. There's a reason why for all of these scenes to happen. He's paranoid that his kid is dropping the water, the glass, it breaks. He's scared that his kid is outside. He's being more rebellious than he thinks because of his paranoia over Henry.
Yeah.
Because of the case, because of the fact that this case has been going on for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
And it's haunting him because of those things. And there's so many nightmare sequences.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, like, what's going to happen?
My anxiety levels for the entirety of this movie were at like, I already have an anxiety issue.
Yeah.
I already have these problems. I didn't need this to make them worse.
Oh, yeah. This film definitely enhances that.
Welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast. In today's episode, we are talking about The Stranger.
The Stranger.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
And
it's a common title for movies. I've noticed. A lot of films are called The Stranger, Strangers, Stranger Things.
well, I was over here just playing The Stranger by Billy Joel. That's the name of the album, by the way. I don't know. Do you guys listen to Billy Joel?
I listened to a couple songs.
I know that me and Christian. Yeah, the longest time.
Yeah.
I know that Christian and I jammed out to One More Night by Phil Collins.
Well, Phil Collins is great. Genesis, yeah.
Yeah, Phil Collins basically wanted me and Christian to make out one day.
That's exactly what Phil Collins wanted.
But
where did I get? Okay.
Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that. The Stranger by Billy Joel. That was my joke.
Exactly.
Or that was my.
It's a common
Yeah.
name. But for this film, The Stranger stars Joel Edgerton.
Yep.
Stars another actor.
Sean Harris.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm literally pulling up his his stuff right now.
Those are the
so we have
two
things
actors
to talk about.
Yeah.
Yep.
And The Stranger is basically about this kidnapping that occurred in 2002. From a little boy gets kidnapped, and they're trying to look for him. No evidence or whatever.
It's a cold case.
It's a cold case. Yeah.
That's the definition of a cold case.
Cold case. Yes. I said cult. I don't know why. Cold case. And 8 years later, around 2010, Joel Edgerton's character plays a detective, undercover
cop,
undercover cop that he befriends. Sean Harris's character, his character's name.
That's a good question, actually.
No. His Joel Edgerton's character is Mark,
Yeah.
and Sean's character is something Tyler.
Yeah, was it Daniel?
Oh my God.
Uh,
Something along those lines.
Henry Peter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Henry. So he befriends Henry, and they have a working relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts out like that, and you find out more about this character. And I think what I really enjoyed about it was how they developed it.
Yeah.
Their friendship, and how this is a hard film.
Yeah.
For me to talk about.
So let's try to start off with something a little bit more lighthearted.
Yes.
This is a movie that I recommended.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, because for most of the movies that we recommend that aren't like big, like obviously we knew we were going to do an episode on something like we know we're going to do we knew we were going to do an episode on the Batman.
Yes.
But smaller films like Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was Nevis's idea.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about it, and we were talking about movies that we want to do, and I was like, okay, so maybe for our next episode we should do this, and then I was like, oh, let's do an episode on the Stranger.
Yeah. I have not heard of this film. When you told me Joel Edgerton, I was like sold.
That's exactly why I wanted to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I saw Joel Edgerton, and I was like, I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Warrior and Great Gatsby. Shakespeare. Ah! You remember that scene?
I didn't see Great Gatsby.
You didn't watch Great Gatsby?
Nope.
Christian, did you watch Great Gatsby?
Great
Yeah,
Gatsby.
you remember that scene where there's a scene where Peter
Okay.
Parker, what's his name? Nick
Tobey
Carraway.
Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey
Yeah,
Maguire.
yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so that's his character. Yeah.
Tobey Maguire's character is playing Nick Carraway, and he comes into the house, and Joel Edgerton plays what's his name? Daisy's husband, Tom Buchanan.
Okay.
And so he's like Shakespeare, and Nick Carraway's like Tom, and he starts throwing footballs at him. They're like catching up, and then he does his like the most masculine laugh I've ever heard in my life, where he just charges at Peter Parker. He's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like catch.
I gotta watch Great Gatsby. This film sounds fucking awesome.
No, and then they like fucking end up in heaven or somewhere where Daisy's just like playing with blinds or something.
Oh,
I hate Daisy,
okay.
but
Good,
no,
good to know. But yeah,
I've
no,
always liked Joel Edgerton
yeah.
since Great Gatsby. Well, I've only seen Great Gatsby and Warrior, but
yeah.
he kind of just captured me in that movie,
Oh, for sure.
and I don't know why. I just really liked him.
Mhm.
And then a few or 2 years ago, I finally watched Warrior. Warrior is one of those movies I've been meaning
Warrior
to watch.
is such a great movie.
If you're a longtime viewer, might remember that we talked about this a little bit
Yeah.
in one of our earlier episodes. I think actually our first episode.
One of the first, I
No,
would say.
I think it was our first episode.
Really?
That was when we talked about Creed.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, you're
And we
right.
talked, and I brought up like, oh, imagine if it was like a Warrior type movie.
Yes, and Warrior, because that ending,
It's so
that
powerful.
performance. Oh my gosh.
And I
Him and
remember
Tom Hardy.
I watched Warrior. I wanted to watch Warrior, not even for Joel Edgerton. I didn't know he was in it. I just wanted to watch it because of Tom Hardy, because I love
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. But Joel Edgerton's character grabbed me
He's
the
great.
most.
And I think
Since-
his performance in The Stranger really gives off that. It's a very subtle performance.
Yeah.
I love this film. I just want to straight up. I just want to say something, Josh. This is like top 3 movies. Like this moved of the year for me.
Really?
Oh yeah, this is beautiful.
In a year where Everything Everywhere All at Once came out.
Yes.
This is top 3. In
Top
a
3.
year
Yep.
where The Batman
Yeah, yeah.
came out.
Yeah.
In a year where Lightyear came. I'm just kidding.
Fucking yeah. I was like, in a year where Men from Toronto.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
But no, this film really hit me. I think right off the bat.
I
with,
didn't yeah.
with the music, the
Mhm.
shots of the fire, the smoke, the mountains.
And you also like just watched it.
Oh my god, I just watched it.
Yeah.
And I gotta tell you, like, this is how you do. I wanna say something about crime docs and true crime. You know, those
especially because recently the Dahmer series
Yeah,
has come out.
and I have zero interest in watching it. I'm gonna be really honest. After thinking more about it, because people were like, "Oh, you should watch it." You should. I'm like, I don't want to. I hate those YouTube videos where they talk about it. This film, on the other hand, is the most mature, the most professional, the most beautiful way of handling this type of subject matter
Yeah.
I've ever seen. This was shot in Australia. This is a film company from Australia. A lot of the cast members are Australian. And I think this director, he's only done another film aside from this, and already he gives off like David Fincher vibes
yeah.
from his work, and I loved this.
That's another thing I was watching it when I watched it, because again I also knew very little about it. I just
Right.
I saw Joel Edgerton. I was like, okay, watch it.
Yeah.
I didn't see the plot. I was like, I hope it's a good movie.
Very heavy themes
But
this film has.
As soon as when I was watching it, I was like, this is giving me Gone Girl vibes.
Oh my god.
Because I didn't know what I was walking
Yeah.
into. And then the movie started, and I was like, oh, so this is the kind of movie I picked. Oh, okay.
And it's
Maybe
so
one of
creepy.
those episodes.
It's so creepy too, because I think what I said before about Henry and Mark's relationship and their friendship and stuff, I'm saying that it was done well because of the fact that Henry is a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
He's a killer.
Yeah.
He killed this boy, but the scenes with him and Mark are just like so like, hey, we're like buddies and stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks for, and it's just so creepy how, especially when he's at his house.
Yeah.
Remember that scene where he's at his house, like, do you like music? And Joel Edgerton's like, I want to get the fuck out of here, like,
Yeah.
and he's just like, hold on, and he plays a song, and it's just like, you don't know if he's gonna have an outburst, you don't know if he's gonna kill him, you don't know if, and it's just the tension is beautifully done. It's just naturally there,
Yeah.
and it just keeps on growing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was a fantastic. These movies aren't really for me. So like,
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's top 10 movie for me, or top 3 movie for
That's
me.
fair. Yeah.
Just because I'm not usually somebody that watches these kinds of movies. But
yeah.
just the performance Joel Edgerton gave just gripped me
Yeah.
from start to finish, because I have the Wikipedia open,
Mhm.
and the last line of like the plot summary is that he's haunted by the case.
Yeah.
And for the entirety of him being on screen in this movie, he gives off that vibe.
Oh,
Joel
yeah.
Edgerton's character, his acting is phenomenal. It's
Mhm.
just brilliant the way he played it.
Because like the plot itself, I know this is based on a true story.
Yeah, it's
It
based on a
already-
true story and based on a series of novels.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too about the novelization. There are a lot of stories that deal with the subject matter of, oh, the undercover cop, he's going to befriend with it, most famously Donnie Brasco.
Yeah.
But this film is such a detour from that execution
Yeah.
of the undercover cop. It's like, I can't handle my life. I can't handle, my wife doesn't like this or whatever. It's not like that. Mark's character has a kid in this.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why. There's a reason why for all of these scenes to happen. He's paranoid that his kid is dropping the the glass, it breaks. He's scared that his kid is outside. He's being more rebellious than he thinks because of his paranoia over Henry,
Yeah.
because of the case, because of the fact that this case has been going on for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
And it's haunting him because of those things. And there's so many nightmare sequences
Yeah.
that capture. I'm like, holy shit! Like, what's gonna happen?
My anxiety levels
Oh,
for
yeah.
the entirety of this movie
Yeah.
were at like, I already have an anxiety issue.
Yeah.
I already have these problems. I didn't need this to make them worse.
Oh yeah. This film definitely enhances that. It's like it's a different type of anxiety from something like Uncut Gems because Uncut Gems is so like chaotic. It's so in
Yeah,
your face and
there's
stuff.
different types. Yeah, absolutely.
But this felt really real.
This is and the anxiety I felt from it was just like it's kind of like when I finished watching Silence of the Lambs.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like when I first watched Silence of the Lambs, I didn't have that anxiety afterwards.
Mhm.
I started to feel it later that night
Yeah.
when I was alone in bed and I was trying to sleep and I was just thinking about that last scene where he walks back into the crowd
Yeah.
and I was like, they're among us. Ooh.
Oh yeah. They say
No,
that
but
line. Yeah.
I was like, it creeped me out.
Mhm.
And so this movie, I mean, I'm a lot more mature now than I was when I watched it when I was Silence of the Lambs when I was 16.
Mhm.
And so now it's like it hits me hard, and I
Yeah.
was like, ooh,
There's
kind of want to stay inside for the rest of my life.
yeah. The Stranger, I think, has a lot of scenes that I'll always remember because of the fact that I don't think of the dialogue in this film. I always just think of how the blocking was done, the performances, how the story was told. And in this case, it's done so perfectly. It's very straightforward. It's like, we're going to this scene. We're going to this scene. This is what's going to happen. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And the music kind of just blends it. Can we talk about the music?
Yes, in 1 second. You guys throw this word around a lot. I'm sorry. I went to business school. What is blocking?
Okay. I'm going to say it.
What the hell is blocking?
I
You
apologize.
guys say it so much, and I feel like it's an important part.
So blocking is essentially like how characters are walking around in a scene. So you know how there's movies, there's shots
Mhm.
where characters are standing, sitting down, anything like that. So whatever they're doing in the scene, like
Mhm.
drinking coffee, moving around, running from A to B,
Yeah.
that's all blocking. And how you choreograph the scene, because there is such thing as bad blocking. An example would be like if I'm standing in front of you in the camera and we can't see you, that's bad blocking because we want to get some
Oh.
coverage. We want a two shot.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
two
yeah.
shot is two people in a shot.
Gotcha.
So the way that they showcase a lot of these scenes is, and it also reflects on the message and characters.
Mhm.
So if a character is, like nervous, like remember that one guy who's like, he's going to the door, but he's
Yeah,
like getting ready and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yes.
It's like the camera's showing him doing that,
Mhm.
and then they slowly pan to him
Yeah.
going to the door.
It was almost kind of gave like I know I'm not the biggest expert on it, but it kind of gave me like horror movie vibes.
Oh yeah,
Like a lot of these scenes were blocked,
yeah.
like as if it was a horror film, as if like fucking Freddy Krueger was gonna jump out.
Exactly.
Which honestly, the fact that it wasn't Freddy Krueger makes it scarier.
What's and that's another thought is the creepy parts of it is what you don't see.
Yeah.
And I love when horror films do this because I'm going to be honest, I'm not the type of person that loves, blood, guts, and gore. Like Gone Girl even had a scene like that.
Yeah, with Neil Patrick. yeah.
Exactly, with the blood and whatever. This film, the creepiest scenes are when they talk about the abduction.
Mhm.
4:15 to 4:18,
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Mhm.
That I choked up when I saw the way they edited that scene. Another scene is when they're searching for the body.
Yeah.
And one of the last shots in the film, and I was like holding my like chest from seeing it, is just like all these people are searching, and then you see the one guy just like his head turns and then he raises his hand.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, man! Like that is creepier than like
I feel like
any Conjuring film, any Annabelle, in my
I feel like
opinion.
we missed a big opportunity here where we could have watched this together because you know that I was at my grandparents' house. I could have came by like when you watched
I
it.
know.
We should have.
You know what we're gonna do? Because I feel like we can work around schedules and stuff. We'll try to pick times to actually watch it together.
Yeah.
And just keep it to ourselves until
Yeah.
we start filming.
Yeah. No, because I would love to see this. Like,
It's
you
just
s- I've actually fun fact for our viewers. I don't think I've ever watched a movie with you.
really.
I don't think so. Aside from like class movies. Okay, we don't count Tough.
Oh no,
And
we
you were
do.
like- and you
That
were
was from
fucking,
an
like,
acclaimed
3
original.
rows in front of me.
That's fair.
No, I don't think
Yeah.
we've ever gone to see a movie together or
No.
like ever seen it, watched a movie together other than like, we watched Schindler's List in religion class.
Yeah, fucking.
Like we watched
Jesus.
American History X in religion class. Like other than movies you watch in school,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a movie with you.
We gotta change that.
Yeah.
We gotta change that ASAP.
And same thing with Christian. I've never seen a movie with you.
Yeah, we should do it as the three amigos.
Oh my god, did we just plan a date?
We sure did, Josh. You just planned it on the Real Talk podcast.
You heard it here first. But back to the stranger.
Yeah.
Even that title, The Stranger.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned this at the beginning of the episode. Just there's so many things the Stranger Things
That are called that, yeah.
strangers. I feel like it's very fitting for this movie, The
Yes.
Stranger.
Mhm.
It's so encompassing, and it's so. After you watch the movie and you start to think about the title, The Stranger, like pieces just start to fall into place, and you're
Yeah.
just like, that title is so much more ominous than before I watched it. Like it changed me. Like
Yeah.
I felt differently after watching the movie. I went in one way and I came out another,
Oh yeah.
and it's like,
a lot of moments like that. The scenes and stuff. Like now, if I'm gonna watch it again, there's gonna be scenes where it's just like the two characters in a car, and I'm like fucking scared out of my mind.
Yeah.
Like holy shit, man, because it's like you don't know what's gonna happen.
I know.
He is a literal stranger to you,
Yeah.
and you're trying to act like best friends, and you're hugging him, and you're like we're brothers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like this guy can kill me at any moment.
It's terrifying, and honestly, like the fact that this is something that goes on, and like police officers that do this,
Holy
it's
crap.
like I had a new respect for this field
Yeah.
afterwards. Because
Another thing too, that guy that convinced him to confess.
yeah,
Holy oh yeah, go for it. I gotta say that scene too, because the way he handled it, he like tells Joel Edgerton like to fuck off because like this is my like we gotta do this, and I'm gonna try to convince him to confess. And the way they shot the confession,
yeah,
you never see it. You only see it on the camera, that
Mhm.
black and white,
yeah.
static camera.
That
Fucking haunting.
the police camera, right?
Holy shit! And people are relieved when he actually says he did it.
Yeah,
But then there's this sense of like, yeah, they're cheering and stuff, but there's no music on top of it. There's no victorious music.
no, it's not a victory.
No, it's
The-
fucking
The
sad.
kid's still dead. They didn't. There's not much of a victory. Yes, they convicted him. Yes, justice was served, but doesn't change the fact that this shit happened.
Like the detective said, it's like they wouldn't have time. It happened right then and there.
yeah,
Nobody even knew when he died,
yeah.
and it's like, oh my gosh, the lines these detectives saying it
The
too.
line, like,
I'm
the
choking
writing
up.
is
Oh,
so fucking.
it's
good.
amazing.
I don't have a lot. Like I didn't know a lot going into this movie.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if like an actual detective that had to do something undercover like that was just pulling shit out that he said or that he and his workmates have said after discussing undercover assignments.
Yeah.
Like where they talk about it afterwards. That must be fucking difficult. Like, cause like Christian and I were talking about this earlier,
Mhm.
and I didn't relate it to this at all, because we were talking about how I watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Yeah,
and it's so different. Like, there's a character. Did you watch Brooklyn
yeah,
Nine-Nine?
it's a funny,
Like
hilarious show.
It's hilarious, yeah. But then you watch like a character like Pimento, who was undercover for like 7 years, I think he was, and he's a slapstick character. He's all funny and everything. And then you watch this,
Yeah,
and you see like Joel Edgerton's character who was undercover,
like
and,
he's actually
and it's like now I'm like I kind of like roll my eyes now when I think about Pimento, because I'm like this guy's Pimento probably did shit like Joel Edgerton in this movie,
Mhm.
his character, and I'm just like I don't know. I feel changed.
Yes.
Like I feel so different.
A lot of films have that type of vibe, especially within like the FBI, CIA focused films like this done right.
yeah.
Not like The Gray Man. Remember The Gray Man and how they handled CIA shit?
Yeah.
It's like, no, you got to do something like an example of done right is like Serpico. You ever see Serpico?
Yes,
Al Pacino?
Is that the one with where he has a big beard, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He's got the greatest facial hair, man.
Is that the one where he like throws the guy into the thing and like starts tearing his pockets out?
Yeah.
That's Serpico?
That's Serpico.
So I
Classic
wanna,
70s Pacino film, but
Yeah.
it comments on like corruption within police officers and such like that.
Yeah.
But there's ways of handling that subject matter that I feel like should be done right. Not like Gray Man would be the obvious example, but
Yeah.
like especially this film is so well done. It's so like I said, it's mature at its themes and the music too. I love this music. This
Yeah.
music was haunting. This was beautiful, melancholic.
yeah, haunting is like this movie is just haunting.
Yeah.
And it's like it's probably one of the creepiest films I've ever watched in my
Yeah.
entire life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like the vibe right now is I keep comparing it to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
Because again, like I mentioned with the title "The Stranger," there's so much more to unpack there once you've seen the movie.
Right.
And that's how I felt after I watched Silence of the Lambs. Like I didn't know why they called it Silence of the Lambs. And then I
Yeah.
watched the movie, and now I think about it, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Hmm.
you know, I don't know. There's just so much this movie did right. Let's think about some things this movie did wrong, though. What are some things you didn't like about the movie? I think it I think it was a little bit long, in my
A
opinion.
little bit long.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay.
Like maybe like 15 minutes. I think some scenes could have been tightened up a little bit, but that's not to say that I. This movie is one of those movies that did deserve its run. Like did deserve to have a longer runtime.
Yeah.
Like it didn't need to be 90 minutes. I appreciate that it's over 100 minutes long.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like a part of the tension is having scenes where it's just silence or just like just meditating on something that a character said.
Right. I feel like maybe the third act could have been a little tighter
Yeah.
with its editing,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the first and second act, especially if it's just Joel Edgerton and Sean Harris. By the way,
Yeah.
Sean Harris.
Yeah, we've been praising Joel Edgerton.
But
this
Sean
episode.
Harris, like he acted in most famously the Mission Impossible films. He
I was
played the
gonna-
bad
yeah.
guy.
Yep.
Really great in that. But even in this one, like he just gives off, and I know it's just like how some actors look,
Mm-hmm.
but he just looks creepy.
Yeah.
Like
Sorry, Sean.
no, but terrific actor because of how his mannerisms, the
Yeah.
beard, like
Yeah,
just how
I
he
mean,
walks
the
and
fucking,
stuff.
The fucking poster, just him staring,
Yeah,
just standing there. That's fucking.
he looks
creepy
like
as
he
shit.
just hasn't slept in weeks.
And like the beard is not perfect or anything.
Yeah,
It's literally it just looks like he just hasn't felt like shaving. It's just I don't know. He pulled it off so well.
but he's not like I'm a crazy guy.
He's not
rah."
like what's his name, American Psycho crazy.
No, he's not. He is not Patrick Bateman. This isn't like some bombastic serial killer. It's like it's a realistic portrayal,
Yeah.
and it's just like, hey, how's it going?
How would you would you compare blah. How would you compare this to like other portrayals of psychopaths in movies? Like
This is
let's say
probably
There Will Be Blood or
There Will Be Blood. Yeah, I feel like this is the most realistic portrayal.
or no, what? Not There Will Be Blood. Why am I saying that? No Country for Good.
No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
This gives off Anton Chigurh vibes.
Yeah.
Sean Harris definitely has that Javier Bardem performance
Mhm.
to it. I feel like, which I like No Country for Old Men a little bit more
Mhm.
than this one, but this one has a different route.
Yeah.
This one has its different take on it. And both films, they don't got happy endings.
No.
This is the reality ending.
No.
That's those are the films I like.
Yeah.
Is the ones that don't have happy endings, they have reality endings.
Yeah. They don't have a happy end. They don't have a bad ending. Like it's not like they
No.
lost. They technically won in the end. Like if
Yeah.
if we think about it, the plot as like what are they trying to get? They're trying to find the murderer.
Yeah.
They succeeded at the end,
Hmm.
but they're not happy about it.
It's
The ending is
yeah.
not. Yeah, they got the confession.
Do you ever see a
and-
shot of the boy?
Sorry.
Remember the boy getting kidnapped and stuff? Do you ever see an image from or a shot from him? He's always described and how it was handled. And that creeps me out the most
Yeah.
is that you never
What?
see it. You hear about how it happened.
Oh, I thought you were referring to something else. I thought this was like another movie. you were
no,
referring
The
to.
Stranger.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that a shot of the boy was another movie. I was like, I've never heard of this movie.
Oh, sorry, but like you never see
Yeah.
the boy,
No, you don't.
even though that's the central point of this film.
Yeah, the whole.
And it's because of that the fear of not knowing what happened visually, but hearing it from other people. That creeps me out the most.
Really.
And I feel like movies like Exorcist 3, there's a scene in Exorcist 3 where
Never seen it.
it's a great film. The detective in that film, there's a dead body in the body bag. He opens it up. You don't see the body, but you see his reaction, and he's just like, he is broken.
Yeah.
Then they describe how he got killed in the next scene, and it's even more disturbing, and it
Yeah.
haunts you. And I love movies that do that because that's the thing about horror is the mystery
Yeah.
and what you don't see and
Mhm.
what you interpret.
Yeah. I mean, you said it yourself.
Yeah.
The unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just. This movie hits hard.
It's not for everyone.
No. Oh, no. Well, it's rated R, correct?
Yes.
I know we did an episode where we talked a lot about like the.
Even
the
though it's not
ratings.
bloody, it's not graphic in that sense. It's
Mature.
disturbing in a different way.
Yeah, we've talked about quite a few disturbing films this season. I found.
Yep.
By quite a few, I mean two.
In
What
terms
else?
of reviewing this blonde energy, like we're trying our best to like have a sense of like understanding and describing it while
Yeah.
also, you know,
It was an interesting film.
Yeah.
Christian, did you watch it? No, you
know
didn't.
the stranger.
No, it was.
Yeah.
It's a good flick.
I'm glad that there's a film like this. I wish there's more films that take on the subject matter better
Yeah,
than
and
like
I know some people that would like love this kind of movie and like would be and not necessarily love because oh my god I love that movie, more in the sense like that was a good movie.
yeah,
You know, I know a few people that would really like this movie, but but at the same time, I know a lot of people that would not want to watch this movie at all.
fair enough.
Myself being one of those people, I probably
Yeah.
like myself. If I told myself 5 years ago, "Hey, watch this movie called The Stranger," I'd be like, "Fuck that shit! No, I don't want to watch that. That shit's creepy as fuck."
But like I feel like there's a sense this is different from like I said before, like a true crime YouTube channel where
Well,
it's
I don't
just
watch
like
that kind of stuff.
yeah, exactly. Well, there it's more famous now, especially with the Dahmer show and
Yeah.
stuff, where people just are overly excited about serial killers or overly excited about, I feel like it's a very touchy subject matter that you have to give respect to.
Yeah.
And this movie, 100%.
Because yeah, I mean, I've never really been a big fan of like those true crime documentaries. Like I remember my dad used to watch a lot of like remember that show 48 Hour Mysteries?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember my dad used to like live and breathe that show. Like,
Yeah.
my dad worked 2 jobs, so I didn't really see him a lot during the week because
Yeah.
my mom would send me to bed at 9 o'clock. But then I remember Fridays I'd be able to stay up later, and I remember like my dad would come home and we'd like be hanging out and shit. And after he watches the Leafs or the Jays game, then he'd put on like a 48-hour mystery episode that he had recorded during the week,
Yeah.
and I'd watch that with him. And I was like, "What the fuck? I don't want to spend time with my dad doing this."
It's
That's
like,
fucking creepy.
why are you recording this?
I'm 8 years old. I want to watch SpongeBob. I want to watch Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs, Dad.
You go from SpongeBob to 48-hour.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, an hour ago I was watching The Fairly Odd Parents. I was watching Fairly Odd Parents. No, but I've just never been a big fan of those. And then recently I watched a couple of the Netflix documentaries, but like, there are a lot. I know that there are a lot. They just aren't for me.
Yeah.
So watching this kind of hasn't changed my opinion on them. Maybe I'm a little bit more open to them,
Yeah.
but still, it. From what I've heard people describe about other films, and from what I've heard my friends talk about the Dahmer show, I feel like this is just has dealt with it a lot. I would say a lot more maturely, but
Yes.
a little bit better.
A little bit better, a
Yeah.
little bit more maturely, and yeah, Sean Harris and Joel Edgerton. I hope
Stole a show.
I hope they get nominated. Their performances are amazing.
Quite, yeah.
These are types of performances that I love. It's not in your face. It's not like the infamous TikTok. Yo, performances be like, I'm yelling, I'm yelling, I'm crying and shit. It's like, no, sometimes a performance can be good without yelling, without crying. And even, oh my God, Joel Edgerton, he does cry in this, but it's very like realistic. I don't know how else to describe it, but he's just like shaking his head. He's like, because it's like, yeah, they solved the case, but he's like, man,
Mhm.
we're looking
Sorry,
for this. We're looking for this kid's body, man.
I'm still just kind of like, what kind of TikToks are you watching?
I go on like these subreddits of like movie making fun of people and stuff.
Of course.
And one of them is the TikToker. It's just like, oh my God, literally me, Patrick Bateman. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
yeah, he just showed us Paul Blart.
Oh yeah, literally.
literally videos,
That's the
just-
parody version.
Well, to wrap all this up, what would you rate this out of 10? Because I'm very excited to hear. Because
You wanna know my rating? I'm
Yeah, out of
thinking
10.
8, closer to 9
Yeah.
out of 10. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I did a good thing.
You recommended a great film, Josh.
A
a
great
great
movie,
movie, man.
This movie gets a great movie rating.
Yeah, man.
So we hope you guys enjoy this episode of the Real Talk.
What's your
Podcast.
rating?
Oh yeah.
And then talk about it. Jeez, man, you're like, I don't know.
My rating? Great. No. Probably 7.5, just because it's not my thing.
Oh yeah.
But I would give it an 8 if it was my thing.
Fair
I
enough.
would give it an 8 because I would definitely recommend this to people.
Hell yeah.
Actually,
man.
no, fuck it. 8. Why am I beating around? the bush?
Damn!
8.
Okay.
But yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Real Talk Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to smash that like button. Comment down below what your favorite part was. Comment what you thought about The Stranger. Have you watched it? What's your opinion on true crime documentaries? Let us know. Subscribe to the channel. Check out our Instagram. Check out our Patreon if you want to support the channel. And yeah, we hope you guys. I don't know. I'm still
With
kind
all
of
that being said,
I've kind of lost it just thinking about the movie.
yeah,
what I mean?
it's
one
does
of
get
those
you.
movies, guys.
It's one
Watch
of those
it.
movies, yeah.
Yeah. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye.
All right, peace out, y'all.